Electric vehicles have come a long way, but not every model has earned the trust of its owners. From blank screens and battery fires to suspension failures and stranded drivers, these 9 electric cars have racked up the most complaints in 2026. If you are shopping for a new or used EV this year, knowing which models to approach with extreme caution could save you thousands in repairs, downtime, and frustration. Here are the 9 EVs generating the loudest owner backlash right now. Number 9. Honda Prologue. The Honda Prologue arrived with massive expectations, backed by Honda's legendary reliability reputation and built on General Motors' Ultium platform. In 2026, however, it has become one of the most complained about electric SUVs on the market, and the problems start the moment you look at the dashboard. The single biggest issue plaguing the Prologue is its infotainment and instrument cluster screens going completely blank while driving. Honda issued recall early in the year after receiving 148 warranty claims related to a software defect in the radio control module that could cause both the center display and the instrument panel to go dark simultaneously. That recall was followed by an even larger campaign, filed in May 2026 after warranty claims ballooned to over 2,400 cases. The consequences are serious because a blank instrument cluster means no speedometer, no warning lights, and no rearview camera image when reversing. A class action lawsuit has been filed against Honda over these recurring display failures, and owner forums are filled with reports of screens going blank again even after the recall software update has been applied. Beyond the screen catastrophe, NHTSA complaint data shows issues with the forward collision avoidance system and adaptive cruise control behaving erratically, with at least 2 formal complaints logged for the 2026 model year alone. Honda recalled approximately 65,000 Prologue and Acura ZDX units to address the display failures, making it one of the larger EV recalls of the year. For a brand that built its name on dependability, the Prologue's troubled launch has been a painful disappointment for early adopters who expected better. Number 8. Polestar 2. The Polestar 2 offers Scandinavian design, sharp handling, and a Google-native infotainment system. But by 2026, it has also accumulated a heavy file of owner complaints centered on software instability, suspension noise, and an unreliable 12-volt electrical system. Across owner surveys and forums, roughly 40 to 45% of Polestar 2 owners report experiencing at least one significant issue, and most of those complaints revolve around the digital systems rather than the electric motors or high-voltage battery. The Android Automotive Infotainment System is the primary source of frustration, with owners describing slow boot times, frozen navigation screens, random black screen reboots while driving, and Bluetooth or Apple CarPlay sessions that crash without warning. Polestar has pushed numerous over-the-air updates through 2024 and into 2026, but some of those updates have introduced new bugs or failed to install correctly, requiring dealer intervention to complete. A failed or partial update can actually disable future OTA capability entirely, leaving the car stuck on outdated software. Beyond the screen, owners frequently report rear axle clicking sounds during low-speed maneuvers, front suspension clunks over bumps, and harsh ride quality on models equipped with larger wheels. The 12-volt battery is another weak link, with owners of 2021 through 2023 models reporting sudden no-start conditions and cascading error messages triggered by a depleted auxiliary battery. Polestar's smaller service network compounds every problem because owners in many regions face long drives or extended wait times just to reach a qualified technician. The fundamentals of the car are solid, but the ownership experience remains rougher than it should be. Number 7. Volkswagen ID.4. The Volkswagen ID.4 has been dogged by complaints since its launch, and 2026 has brought no relief. The most alarming issue is a series of high-voltage battery recalls affecting 2023 through 2025 models with 82 kilowatt-hour packs, where internal cell defects or coolant leaks could potentially lead to a thermal event and fire. NHTSA recall covers approximately 670 vehicles identified as high-risk units requiring hardware intervention, while a broader campaign covering nearly 44,000 ID4s addresses battery modules with potential fire risk through software updates and, in some cases, module replacement. Beyond the battery headline, day-to-day charging complaints are rampant. Owners describe vehicles that refuse to initiate DC fast charging sessions, charge ports that lock up or throw error codes, and home level 2 sessions that stop randomly. The infotainment system continues to frustrate with laggy touchscreen responses, random reboots, and phantom warning lights that appear without explanation and disappear after a restart. An electronic door latch recall covering many 2021 through 2024 models added another safety concern, as doors could potentially unlatch during driving. The 12-volt battery system is also a recurring headache, with early models prone to failures that render the car completely unresponsive even when the main battery pack is fully charged. Independent reliability scores place the ID4 well below average for the EV segment, and its resale value has suffered accordingly. Buyers who do their homework can find sordid examples, but the sheer volume of complaints makes the ID4 one of the riskiest mainstream EVs on the market today. Number 6 is Audi Q4 e-tron. The Audi Q4 e-tron shares its MEB platform with the Volkswagen ID4, and unfortunately it also shares many of that car's problem patterns while adding a few premium-priced headaches of its own. Consumer Reports expects the 2026 Q4 e-tron to be less reliable than the average new car, and Edmunds Consumer Reviews tell a consistent story of software failures, charging faults, and build quality issues that undermine the Audi badge. Software and infotainment glitches top the complaint list, with owners reporting slow boot times, frozen screens, random reboots, and an MMI system that forgets radio presets and driver profiles after updates. Charging problems represent the second major complaint category, including intermittent fault messages when plugging into level 2 stations, home charging cables that overheat under sustained load prompting recall campaigns in some markets, and DC fast charging sessions that taper aggressively or abort entirely on certain networks. Hardware complaints include door handles that stick or fail to present smoothly, front suspension bushings that develop clunks prematurely, and a brake system with inconsistent regenerative to friction handoff that feels grabby at low speeds. Several recall campaigns have targeted 2022 through 2024 models for high-voltage charging electronics failures, gear indicator display errors that create rollaway risk, and charging cable fire hazards. The Q4 e-tron is not a catastrophic failure, as its battery and drivetrain fundamentals are reasonably solid, but the digital layer draped over the hardware consistently disappoints owners who expected Audi-level refinement from their electric crossover. Number 5. Genesis GV60. The Genesis GV60 is one of the most polished vehicles on Hyundai's eGMP platform, but polished does not mean problem-free, and by 2026 a clear pattern of complaints has emerged around its software, electrical systems, and climate control. The most visible issue is a 2025-2026 recall affecting the GV60's infotainment and instrument cluster, where a software logic error can cause both screens to reboot or go blank while driving. This is not a minor inconvenience, because losing the instrument display means losing access to speed, battery status, and critical warning indicators simultaneously. Beyond the recall, owners consistently report screen flickering, freezes when connecting Apple CarPlay, and sluggish touch response that undermines the luxury experience Genesis promises. The 12-volt battery system is another chronic weak point, with multiple owners describing no-start conditions where the GV60 refuses to unlock or power on despite having a healthy main battery pack. These events can leave owners stranded without warning and often require a physical key entry and a jump start to resolve. In cold climates, A significant number of GV60 owners have reported complete loss of cabin heat due to heat pump failures, with some enduring multi-week dealer visits while waiting for backordered HVAC compressor components. The Genesis service network itself is a frequent complaint, as owners report being bounced between dealerships, long parts wait times, and vehicles returned from service with problems only partially resolved. Consumer Reports has logged one NHTSA recall for the 2026 model year, and alignment issues on new vehicles have also been reported by owners on Reddit and enthusiast forums. Number 4. Kia EV9. The Kia EV9 is one of the most appealing three-row electric SUVs available, but a growing wave of serious complaints in 2026 has raised significant concerns about its long-term reliability. The most alarming issue involves high-voltage battery pack failures, with dozens of owners worldwide reporting dead battery modules that cause the vehicle's displayed charge to jump erratically and total usable capacity to plummet. A detailed investigation by The Verge in May 2026 documented an EV9 whose 99 kilowatt-hour pack was only holding 71 kilowatt-hours due to multiple dead modules, and at least one owner has seen range drop to just 30 miles. Replacement packs can take months to arrive under Kia's warranty program, leaving owners without transportation for extended periods. The Integrated Charging Control Unit, known as the ICCU, is another persistent problem inherited from Hyundai Group's EGMP platform. ICCU failures can disable AC charging entirely and strand owners without warning. And while Hyundai and Kia issued a recall covering 150,000 EGMP vehicles in 2024, owners continue reporting failures into 2026. NHTSA data from VinItal shows 20 complaints filed against the 2026 EV9, with electrical system faults being the most common category. A separate recall addresses a poorly welded driveshaft on certain dual-motor all-wheel drive models that can reduce or completely cut drive power. Kia has not yet issued a formal recall for the battery module failures, but mounting media coverage and owner reports suggest the automaker may be forced to act soon. Number 3. Ford F-150 Lightning. The Ford F-150 Lightning was a groundbreaking electric truck when it launched, but by 2026 it has accumulated a substantial complaint record covering battery safety, charging reliability, software glitches, and real-world range that consistently disappoints owners coming from gas-powered F-150s. The most serious concern involves battery-related recalls, including campaigns addressing internal cell defects and fastener issues that create a fire risk. Over repeated charge and discharge cycles, affected battery cells can develop internal short circuits that may cause a fire without warning. Ford has recalled subsets of 2022 through 2024 Lightnings for these issues, with some campaigns covering hundreds of vehicles and others reaching into the tens of thousands. Charging problems are among the most frequently reported complaints, with owners describing DC fast charging sessions that fail to initiate, handshake errors with public charging networks, and home charging schedules that reset or ignore target charge limits after software updates. Driver assist features like Blue Cruise have been reported as inconsistent, dropping out unexpectedly during highway driving. A massive multi-model recall affecting millions of F-150, including 2021 through 2026 models, addressed a software error discovered in the broader F-Series lineup. Real-world range complaints are pervasive, with winter highway driving cutting range by 25 to 40%, and towing a tall trailer reducing it by 40 to 60% compared to EPA estimates. The Lightning's powertrain hardware has generally held up, but the ownership experience remains rough. Number 2. Hyundai Ioniq 5. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 is one of the best-selling and most awarded electric vehicles in the world, but its 2026 complaint record reveals serious issues that buyers should not overlook. NHTSA has recalled the 2026 Ioniq 5 twice already this year, and both recalls involve significant safety concerns. The first addresses improperly tightened high-voltage bus bar bolts in the battery system assembly that create potential for electrical arcing and fire, affecting 2025 and 2026 models. The second recall targets rear suspension bolts that were not properly tightened at the factory on certain 2026 Ioniq 5 and Ioniq 9 vehicles produced between December 2025 and January 2026, creating a crash risk if the rear suspension components separate. Owners on Reddit report that the ICCU issue has not been fully fixed, and failures can still strand drivers by disabling the charging system entirely. NHTSA records show at least 4 complaints filed against the 2026 model, including problems with Level 2 charging functionality. Consumer Reports has flagged the Ioniq 5 with 2 NHTSA recalls for the 2026 model year, and notes that an electrical short in the high-voltage battery system increases the risk of fire. The Ioniq 5's reliability score has dropped in independent surveys, with Kia and Hyundai's broader EGMP platform earning a reputation for electrical gremlins that the automaker has struggled to eliminate despite multiple warranty extensions and recall campaigns. Prospective buyers should verify that all recall work has been completed and remain aware that the ICCU issue may still surface. Number 1. Chevrolet Blazer EV. The Chevrolet Blazer EV holds the unfortunate distinction of being one of the most troubled electric vehicle launches in recent memory, and complaints have continued to pile up well into 2026. The problems began almost immediately after the SUV went on sale, with GM pausing sales entirely in December 2023 due to severe software bugs that caused frozen infotainment screens, persistent error messages, and failures at DC fast charging stations. Sales resumed in March 2024 after a comprehensive dealer-installed software update, but owner forums and review sites confirm that software instability has not been fully resolved. Kelley Blue Book consumer reviews for the 2026 model describe ongoing screen freezes, auto hold malfunctions that worsen over time, and infotainment systems that require frequent reboots. The hardware side is equally concerning, with a large-scale recall affecting over 40,000 units of 2024 and 2025. Blazer EVs for a rear parking brake wiring harness that could corrode or flex to the point of failure, potentially causing the parking brake to activate unexpectedly while driving or fail to engage when parked. A follow-up recall in February 2026 revealed that some vehicles that had already undergone the first repair received an incorrect chassis harness due to a cataloging error, meaning the problem was never actually fixed on those units. Consumer Reports has logged 1 NHTSA recall for the 2026 model year and notes below average predicted reliability. The Blazer EV's combination of a botched software launch, multiple overlapping recalls, and continued owner complaints about basic functionality makes it the most complained about electric car of 2026. And with this, we have reached the end of this video. Make sure to like it and subscribe the channel for future upcoming videos.